Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream.
What if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through?
And after several nights, you would say, well, that's pretty great.
Have you ever wondered, one day you're really tired and you don't have any energy to work?
Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be.
Or when you concentrate on study to gain your milestone, put a lot of effort into them to maintain it, will use lots of way. And one of the most things I see people use is the motivation.
Where you are.
They use it with a lot of action, like the meditation, like the sport, to reproduce the neuron into their brain. And is that the motivation work? At first, motivation is a desire for an action that forces people to handle their work as much as possible, and it's a field which helps you to maintain your process even if it's really hard. And based on the investigation, I believe that motivation is an internal state that propels individuals to engage the goal into their behavior. There's a lot of types of the motivation we have discussed in the academic literature. For example, the intrinsic motivation, which comes from the internal factor, like the enjoyment or the curiosity of yourself. When you do something you really love and you really like, you really enjoy it, you will have a better result after the process. And that's what kind of the motivation. For conscious motivation, the individual is aware of the motive driven the behavior, which is not the case for the unconscious motivation. Other types include the rational and irrational motivation, biological and cognitive motivation, short-term and long-term motivation. But it's not true in every circumstance. What if I fail? What if I put a lot of effort into work and I didn't receive the desired achievement? There are several times I have been through. The consequence of them is the long period of the depression. Even though some people say you're weak, you're not brave enough, you fail, but exactly the reason is your expectation about the milestone. The victims, they don't believe in the process. They don't try to find the reason why they fail. They're just looking in the dream and don't see into the reality. That's everything I have accumulated when I deal with the depression by the motivation that I have created on my own. Moreover, depressed people are not less motivated by personal goals, but are more pessimistic about attaining them. I have heard the quote that you can fail, you can try. After that, fail better and try better. Motivation is not directly observable, but it has to be inferred from other characteristics. There are different ways to do and measure it. The most common approach is to rely on the state report and use the questionnaires. They can include direct questions like how motivated you and what do you do to motivate yourself. So they cannot observe, but they can connect between the motivation and the depression that have concern. When depressed person, they receive a motivation. It will force them to escape from the darkness cage. Then a new definitions come. It was the discipline. Discipline is the self-control that's gained by required that the rule or in the order by the obey, and the ability to keep working at something really difficult. The way I thought is you can combine the motivation and discipline together. Motivation is like a point which will help you to go more faster. Discipline might be a line that will help you to maintain the process and connect the individual of motivations until you reach the goal. Those are really important when you maintain and process with two elements is motivation and the discipline. When you feel so strict, motivation can help us being relaxed and burn the flame again. But when you're deeply in the brilliant aurora, discipline will take your back and turn your aurora become the truth. Like the idiom in the American, turn the dream become the truth.